Hello, my name is Rubin A. I'm here to report on rabies, how it's contracted, and the issues involved, including climate change issues. Rabies is a viral zoonotic disease that causes progressive and fatal inflammation of the brain and spinal cord. Rabies is caused by a virus that is part of the Rhabdoviridae genus Lyssavirus of the order Mononegavirales or Virales. It's found in tropical climates, especially in Africa and Asia, but pockets exist in the United States and Latin America. It can also be found to a lesser degree, in cold climate areas of the world and cold seasons. This disease is often found in stray and wild animals or domestic animals who are attacked by an encounter with an infected animal. Also, a human encountering a sick animal, handling one in such a condition, or having been attacked by one showing symptoms. The importance of inoculating pets is urgent and should not be set aside or neglected. Climate change aggravates more than half of the infectious diseases. Of the 375 contagious diseases affecting people, 218 or 58% are worsened by the climate crisis. This is an unprecedented threat to civilization, warrants a study in Nature Climate Change. When we talk about this impact of climate change on humans, we imagine major storms, extreme droughts, rising sea levels, migration, etc. But we rarely relate to the transmission and generation of infectious diseases. This third slide concerns research and policy, consisting of animal health, human health, ecology and the environment, and the circle of incubation period. Morbidity period, starting with transmission, spillover, medical and veterinary care, and documentation. And this is courtesy of Trends in Microbiology. This fourth slide is a poster. Bats can have rabies. Never touch a bat. Of course, we have depicted here an angry bat, which is more or less the reaction you will see on one if something were to attack. Rabies is a deadly disease transmitted through the saliva of an infected animal. Not all bats have rabies, but most human cases of rabies in the United States are caused by bats. Bat bites often leave small, minor wounds, but still require prompt medical attention. Rabies is a preventable disease. Bat-proof homes and buildings by eliminating areas where bats may enter. If you find a bat in your home, call the health department so it may be tested for rabies. If bitten, wash the wound with soap and water and seek medical care immediately. For more, visit www.cdc.gov/rabies/bats, and this is courtesy of worldrabiesday.org poster. In this fifth slide presentation, we have a poster, Prevent Rabies. Depicted are three animals, the common faces of rabies: a dog, a mongoose, and a bat. Prevention tips that we have here are: do not approach, feed, or touch any of the above animals if they are behaving strangely. Never touch or play with a bat. Bat-proof your home. Seal all holes or gaps where the bats can enter. Vaccinate livestock or dogs and cats as appropriate to your country's rabies status. If you are exposed, immediately wash the wound or the infected area with soap and water for at least 15 minutes. Apply rubbing alcohol and/or disinfectant to the wound. Do not wait for symptoms to develop. Seek medical attention. Note that safe and effective vaccines are available for treatment. Rabies is almost always fatal, but 100% preventable. And this is courtesy of CIRAD, this poster. This here is a poster concerning rabies in humans. Localized pain or parenthesis, change in behavior, anxiety, fear, aggression, aerophobia, which is actually fear of swallowing or fear of air of intake, hydrophobia, which is fear of drinking water or seeing water or bodies of water. Also paralysis, and in the worst case scenario, coma, and followed by death. Full recovery, extremely rare. Treatment must rely on palliative care, anxiolytics, and pain relief, mostly painkillers, and relieving the distress of the patient. Counseling of family is given in the worst case scenarios, and the full recovery, extremely rare. This chart above concerns the common reasons why patients did not attend medical facilities, and this goes via percentage with multiple responses given. The first one is the wound was not considered severe. This varied between 59.3 to 59%. The second one is belief in traditional healers, and this varied between 32.9% to 39%. Also, there was financial constraints between 22.6 to 26%. There was also lack of awareness about the necessity to visit medical facilities, and this varied between 11.3 to 13%. And there was also a preference for self-medication only, which was between 11.3 to 13%. Also, there were children that did not report this bite incidence, and that varied between 7 to 8%. There was also constraints during the COVID-19 period, pandemic community lockdown, and that varied between 6.1 to 7% because of the lack of available attending facilities, given that COVID-19 was a priority over other diseases and other issues, medical issues. Also, the excuse that many people were busy runs between 5.2 to 6%. Also, those who had dogs They're not worried because they said the dog was vaccinated, and that varied between 2.6 to 3%. There was also the distance to the animal bite treatment centers, which in some places are known as ABTCs, and that varied between 1.7 to 2%. There was also those who were aware of their dog's rabies status, and that's where you had between 0.9 to 1% that prior rabies vaccination, they didn't worry too much about it. Also, there was the observation of the animal for 10 days and confirmation that the dog was alive, which was a very, very minimal percentage, probably under 0%. Also, there was also ignorance and unawareness of the location for the rabies, or I should say the ABTC center, and that was like less than 0 percentage points. Overall, 115 cases, 86.5% did not attend medical facilities, and versus 18 cases that were known that rounded to 15.9% that did attend. Over here we have another poster. What you should know about rabies. Caring for animals. Today, tomorrow, and always. The pointers are provided in this poster courtesy of American Veterinary Medical Association. And that concludes this